to our first topic of discussion today. Now, GOGIS is the Geographic Information System that analyzes and displays geographically referenced information. It uses data that is attached to a unique location. The Gombe State Director General of Geographic Information Systems, GOGIS, Dr. Kabiru Hassan, says the agency generated over 1.8 billion naira in 2 years. The DG also disclosed at the inauguration of GOGIS Service Center in the state by Kaduna State Governor, Nasir El-Rufai. Mr. Hassan added that the center was conceived in 2013 to address the myriads of challenges affecting land administration in the state, while stating, that the agency generated about 1.8 billion naira, contributing greatly to the internally generated revenue of the state. Well, joining me live is no other person from Gombe State. He is the Director General of the Geographic Information Systems, GOGIS, Dr. Kabir Hassan. Dr. Hassan, thank you so much, and it's good to see you again.
Thank you for having me, Tolu. It's good to see you.
Well, let's start with this epoch-making event of the unveiling of the Shango layout and construction of the housing units in Gombe. Now, tell us specifically, what is the implication of this?
Housing in Nigeria, generally is one of the basic necessities of life. When there is no housing, no life. As such, my governor, due to his visionary leadership, he intends to provide more accommodation for the people coming into the state. Because, as our population daily is increasing, so there is need to expand the city. So by that, we have a total land area of 244 hectares, which are marked for the citizens of the state. And on that layout, we were able to earmark 15 hectares for 550 housing units in order to reduce the menace as well as the problem bedeviling indigents of Gombe State, especially the vulnerable ones and low-income earners.
Interesting stuff there, planning ahead. Let's talk about prospects and expectations from this development. Tell us what you expect as being in charge of all of these moves.
So what we are expecting at the end of the day, this layout as well as the housing unit is going to increase the internally generated revenue tremendously. Because, when you are given a land, one land, I allocated one land to you, it will transfer hand from this person to another person to third person. Each transaction, the government must have its own interest out of it. So our expectation is going to be very significant in terms of revenue.
Important. But let's talk more about this transformation agenda and where Gombe State is headed under the leadership of your governor. A lot of reforms around that space, but tell us more about this.
So my governor, I can call him a transformer and a visionary leader, and my governor is always thinking outside the box. So this transformation is not only in Gombe Geographic Information Systems. When you go to health sector, educational sector, industrial sector, let me give you an example. We have Gombe Muhammad Buhari Industrial Park, which attracted a lot of investors coming to the state, seeking for land, seeking for houses. So our prospect is going to be very good and is going to be very attractive to investors.
At the time we spoke about the proximity of Gombe to Abuja, what are the positives this shows, particularly considering security issues and people, the influx of people to Gombe State from everywhere around the north?
So, Gombe is situated at the center of northeastern part of the country. And, Boko Haram bedeviled Borno State in previous years. But due to the influx of people coming from the neighboring state, Adamawa, Yobe, Borno, as well as rural urban migration, as well as people who are coming based on the business activities. Gombe is vibrant when it comes to business. It's a small town, but we have serious business activities. Anything you are selling in Gombe, because when you have population, as population increases, people are still being attracted to that state. So as our population is about 4 to 5 million, but if you look at the kind of business that is happening in Gombe State is appreciative.
Indeed. Our population as a country, of course, you will agree with me, continues to expand. Do you really think that your state is ready for full urbanization? Or is it just a partial move for some time and later we'll go back to the normal?
We are aware that the Nigerian population in general, from now to 2050, according to United Nations Population Fund, it is going to reach 400 million from now to 2050, which is going to be the third largest in the world, apart from India and China. So based on that, because my governor is a visionary leader, so he's trying to see how we can overcome those issues. That is why we are trying to expand the state in terms of providing more layouts, providing more housing units, so that it can cater for the population. In fact, in terms of the population, in fact, the low-income earners and the vulnerable ones, as I mentioned earlier.
Dr. Hassan, looking at this report shared, you've been able to make a lot of money, about 1.8 billion naira now for government in what we've seen. And of course, the governor it would be a beautiful handshake because everyone is talking revenue at the moment. Can you tell us more about the workings of GOGIS?
When we came on board, that was, let's say 2 years back, my governor approved of all our requests in terms of how to strengthen the working environment of GOGIS, especially in terms of sanitizing land administration, as well as trying to correct the wrongdoing in the previous layout. If you could remember the other time, as I told you, we audited 8 layout where through the verification, where we realized serious revenue in the exercise. So I think we are good to go.
Now, let me ask you, as seamless as it sounds, very beautiful, interesting reports that you have, what are some of your challenges before I move on?
Our challenges is trying to have a synergy with some of our sister agencies, especially the internally generated revenue and Gombe State Urban Development Authority, as well as the area council in local government areas. That is where we want the governor's intervention so that we can have a good working relationship in terms to boost the internally generated revenue beyond our expectation.
That is a very good one. What other support do you now need also from government? Some will say funding, some will say manpower, some will say technology. What more do you need to make your job seamless?
You see, I'm smiling. What I only need from what you have just mentioned, I only need manpower. I need intervention from the governor to have more manpower so that, as when we have manpower, we'll have more revenue.
Now, let's stay with this outlook for Gombe State's development and infrastructure growth. Landed and, of course, and even buying a land in the state should appreciate with all of these developments. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, with the discovery of oil exploration in Akko local government, that is called money. So many people are trooping into the state seeking for greener pasture. So that makes the state to be very expensive in terms of accommodation, landed properties. Let me give you an example. If you are seeking for a 2-bedroom flat in Gombe State, it's very difficult for you to get it, in fact, as easy as you think. 2-bedroom is going for 500 to 800. I'm not trying to scare investors, but I'm just trying to tell you, we have a lot to offer people who are interested to come to invest in Gombe State.
So would you say this is the reason why many people are moving so much into Gombe State? Or what more is that thing that is attracting them to your state?
I'm telling you, Olu, if you can move to Gombe from Lagos within 1 month, you'll not even think of going back to Lagos because of our economic viability.
Wow.
You'll not even think of going back to Lagos.
Wow.
Peace, we have peace in the state. There is no any issue of this banditry, this Boko Haram, because, as I told you, my governor is always thinking outside the box, trying to provide solution before things happen. And he's a very active person.
Indeed. So where do you see GOGIS in another, 2 years, 3 years? What do you see GOGIS moving forward?
All what we are doing, we are not doing it for today. We are doing it for the future in terms of revenue generation, in terms of all these layout proposals, all these good things that we are bringing into table to the citizens. We are doing it for tomorrow. And I'm seeing GOGIS, any governor that will come after us, I'm telling you, he's going to just rely on GOGIS to take care of the state based on the revenue we'll be generating. If you remember, I told you last time I'm going to generate 1 billion when I had interview with you. But now, see, I'm generating 1.8 billion naira. So maybe next year I will generate 4 billion. I don't know, but I will try my best to put more effort.
That's a very good one, Doc. Indeed, you said that, and I can remember. But before I let you go, I also believe that the people of Gombe State should be carried along in all your processes, because this has to do with people. You govern, the governor presides over the people of the state. So any agency of government must put the people into consideration, factor them in to whatever you're doing. Now, how have the people of Gombe State taken your job? How receptive are they taking the development you are bringing into the state?
We have one policy, or we have the way we used to do our work, especially as a town planner. There is a way, there's a situation where you will plan for the people, where you will plan with the people. In this situation in Gombe State, we are planning with the people. When you have, let's say we want to design a place. So before we even embark on the design, sometimes we used to distribute a questionnaire trying to hear their views as developed world. When we had their views, we'll see whether the project is going to be viable or not. So we don't just do things without carrying the indigenous alone, because we are working for them. So when you are working for me, you have to carry me alone, because if there is no population in this state, GOGIS cannot be here.
So that's a good way to do it. So what is your final word now, though, to Gombe residents and, of course, to the country at large? We're moving to an inauguration in a few days, and everyone is setting an agenda. You are in the property, landing, and, of course, geographic space. You can have a word also for Mr. President-elect.
So my word for the president, Alhaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to look into this issue of trying to have approved our national development plan, which was done in 1992, so that we will have urban development plan for the whole nation, where it can give guidelines, standard for the state government to follow. That is the way forward, where we can get revenue, where we can have a habitable environment for Nigerians.
I think that's a gold mine that we need to also start looking at now. Well, Dr. Kabiru Hassan, he is the Director General, Geographic Information Systems, that's GOGIS. He joined us live from Gombe State to talk about all that is happening, and in particular, revenue. That is very important for us here. We talk business and we talk money. I must thank you so much for your time. We hope to have you in, and by then, you should be generating above 2 billion naira.
Yes, thank you so much.